in towards C. Sylvan moves shallow.
Sylvan still defeating. Took a damage. 5, and that's good to see now also connecting on it. Not to be found. Regen shield, so a bit more help behind. Smoke, anticipating a lot. Should have seen him here.
Oh, nice banget.
Crossfire setup, looking good. Bane streaking backwards, still in the line. One
Whoop.
for a little bit more meteor.
Ow, si Bao.
Now last one standing. Grabs the spike.
1, 2, 3. Mungkin dong.
P3. Just that outlaw in hand. Swap to the Bulldog. It's going to be difficult to find for first. Fully flashed up, stuck in behind the box. Buzz closes, trying to find the kill, and does. Narrow margins, but T1 will reestablish a lead.
Yeah, this is pretty nice work by Sylvan to really hold the line, change the position on the C. After the showstopper in the C's, don't really allow DRX any access into the site. Tucks in behind the box. Him and Meteor set up a nice crossfire here. Really nullifies that hit. Almost maybe looked like Freeing was going to get an opportunity to do something special, but shut down in the long run. Buzz just holding the line here at the top. Have to take the 1v1 there. Try to see if you can get that first before Stacks is able to get close enough. Set up for the pinch. Buzz is going to have his ult. Bulldog for Sylvan. Otherwise it's rifles, normal rifles all around. On cleared. TP across.
Buzz revealing that he's out wide. Blanco able to capitalize, takes down his former teammate. Sylvan,
Nice
however,
banget.
for a punish, he's able to pick one up. Blanco take it down, so in the end,
Please antisipasi kalau ada orang di kanan.
Yoru no longer has to concern DRX.
Still, and you have the Viper smokes.
Ooh, oh.
That is, so he's been so good in those.
Very crisp with it. Plenty of deficit. Kills that he's caught have been impressive.
Yeah, it's been really on point in those 1v1s.
Lockdown, a bit of a fake here. Cluster off, Mizu. At a glance, finding one, but eventually he's going to be forced out into the open here. Wall raised, paint shells set, redraw.
Mati, nice.
The weapon.
Cakep banget.
Paint stacks there and stairs to go ahead and capitalize.
Tahu dong berarti dari B, kan ultinya tuh, kelihatan kan?
Left to try to clutch this out. Sylvan 28, 26 HP to get the kill on the stacks. In a good position to make this work. Moment to get back again, holding the
Nice,
door, however,
Sylvan.
is Sylvan. Has the headshot, T1. Now, Reed stretching that lead by 2, 9-7. With DRX's economy in the dumps.
Yeah. This is what looked like it might be a bit of a disastrous start, but still Sylvan finds a really nice timing. Catches Mako trying to get out of dodge. And Izu as well. Pretty good timing for his first peek. Waits for the smokes. Buys some time. Stacks and Sylvan playing that very diligently at the end, especially Stacks. Not challenging that angle where the spike went down. Knowing that Sylvan is coming from B, he can just hold the line there. He doesn't need to go for something risky. If they happen to go B, they're probably not going to be expecting Sylvan to be that close. If they go A, you can wait for Sylvan to come. They can team up, go for the 2v1. DRX finally going to pull the trigger on a timeout for the first time here on Lotus. Curious to see what they want to do. I'm seeing some decent ideas, honestly, from DRX, but at times, T1 players are just finding their moments, their timing to get the better of some players. They're trying to make their way in that last round into the door, the mound kill towards Mako. Just some off-filter timings potentially. Maybe Turby and company want to address.
Let's see, first time out call here from DRX. One piece, despite how back and forth close this map has been the whole way throughout.
Got a lot of trust in these IGLs on both sides. Experience between them.
Buzz misses the shot. Green again here at B-Main.
Nanti mau freeing mulu, Cok. Jago banget nih orang. Bajingan.
Can't get out. Doesn't get taken out by the aftershock, but that's still solid damage dealt here. Considering no one's playing on the turn.
Ini trade sih, apa sih?
Paranoia. Makes the call from the players here at the door. Still forward, however. Seven lips. Moves up top row. still somehow has not been cleared. It's going to be Estrella. Simplifying Meteor. One of these rounds are looking a hell of a lot better for the side of DRX. Out wide. Spray through the smoke and move on. Go ahead and ensure the drop is opened up. Spot up to one. Trying to press himself in that position. Can't do so. Easy on the entry into the side. Finds Estrella. The fight here at the feet. The turnaround from behind. Mako unable to find the punch. Bane now dead. And Mako all alone. The plant not for him. Stacks with 3. Stop Drifty from coming through. It's a decent, solid early kill, but T1 a bit better on the trades. Now get up to double digits.
Ring just out here ego peaking and winning time after time. Oh my God. Just stepped far enough out. But then if you do that, you might be paying a price because the breach Tejo can trap you in pillars, take you out pretty easily. Head's on a swivel. Nice job by T1 there. Not a lot of util to work with in that post plant. Made it pretty scary. The fault line had just come into cycle for Stacks as they were starting to finally break through. That they didn't really have much, so T1 going on a fact-finding mission, then TPing to the other side of the map. Didn't see anything in trouble. Yeah.
42, so just a bit of free fire.
How much you want to bet that was Mako?
It's pretty simple.
Solo over at A on his own. He's got a tough task ahead of him here.
Just go ahead, back away. Ooh, little jiggles. He's able to break those lines of sight. Gets himself out to safety here. But at the same time, setting the dimensional drift. He is running and fraying. Wanting some revenge for the previous round. Trying to find the catch. There's the stun. There's the punish.
Di balas tendang.
Call here from the side of T1, just ensuring you get that player advantage here.
Setups have been great.
Still enough to try and work their way back into the sights. They don't have the dimensional drift to scout this. The player advantage. They have a rolling thunder, and now that gets sent out. Mako back level, however. To find Buzz. Izu will stay behind the wall here for the moment. Gunman able to find Stacks.
Oh, anjing kena jidak hidup.
Beyond. Let's go ahead and claim Gunman, but DRX still in a good position. Now T1, I think, certainly wishing that they had that dimensional drift to try to rescout the site.
Emang berarti Fring harus bunuh Buzz terus ya?
Still down by 2.
Mako just such a fierce opponent. Back to his normal job of just being a controlling player. And he is making life a nightmare on these lurks. Just shutting Buzz and Izu out. That rolling thunder might not anticipate that Gunman had tucked in that close again after it. Well, the aftershock is there, and you would think he'd abandon that position to swing back out to the site to try to protect his life. Instead, he just holds the line, catches T1 off guard. Nicely done by DRX, but man, Mako's been a real difference maker. 16 kills for him. On Eco, 4T1. Some sheriff's a stinger for Meteor. Was just a classic. So Gunman gonna have the showstopper to boot. Things looking rather dicey for T1 in this round. They're reacting well to this A hit though.
Try to just clear out that boom bottom, but it's all just a play distraction. Armageddon dodged. The stun will connect. Drop down though, straight. Go ahead and keep things coming. Gunman keeps himself alive.
Aduh, susah ya.
Angle after angle.
Dua aja, satu lagi ya coba ada.
DRX did not give up anything for free. Izu now, that's one standing to try to see if he can make a
Bunuh
little bit more
Fring.
impact, a little bit more
Dikit
damage
dikit.
here. Went for the timing shot of the jiggle peak, but cannot connect with the head.
Tough, to say the least. Can't find any more damage. Laid it out. Nope. Gunman, good for the final one.
Very crisp. DRX now. 2 rounds back to back. 1 away from tying things up.
Dude, Gunman, that was a crazy good round for him. He's doing such a good job here, breaking angles to set up his teammates. He's jumping in, Bane's covering. He's jumping down, Estrella's covering. He's throwing paint shells, Estrella's covering.
Have you guys sensed the pattern yet?
Yeah, just great. But that's great teamwork, and that's what you want from your duelists. Selfless play to set up for the guys behind you. That's going to be T1 taking their final timeout. It's certainly on their map pick.
New York is a victory.
Cheering for the victory. Yeah.
Oh, from Hong Kong.
Oh, nice. And they came to Korea. Welcome. Big Meteor fan. Very, very good. We are too, even though his Tejo's a little, he hasn't looked as comfortable, I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, first time
For sure.
bringing it out. It's going to be a little off, perhaps.
No doubt.
Now we'll see how it develops and whether or not he's going to be playing as we go deeper into the series. So we do have Fractured on the second map. Previously, of course, we can see Meteor playing Vice then.
I didn't expect them to go back to kind of stock standard on Fracture, maybe, but I mean, it obviously hasn't been their best map. It's been one they've been kind of avoiding. Buzz does have the option. He's over at C Mound. The Rebel fight goes the way of DRX. Stacks tucked into the tree in the door. Oh, not gonna. Oh, he goes clear. Okay. After a second there, he might be able to dodge it. Now he has to fall way, way back. Difficult positions. Pivot being made. Prowler, Boombot. Good paranoia though from Sylvan. Stun there.
Ready for the moment, the showstopper. Sent. Decent amount of damage. Splash across on the Buzz. Takes him down to 55. Try to assist, but now the pit here in their faces. T1 trying to get himself back into this. Counter pit.
That's what I was just thinking.
Doesn't particularly feel great. Sylvan keeping forward, looking to try to scout. Splashes go flying. Straya tucked in on the side. Finds one on the peak. Sylvan dead. Izu gone. They're just going to be picking him to pieces. Buzz will find one. He'll get out.
Oh, kok jadi tai sih?
The only bit of weaponry that they're going to have going into the next round is everyone else is damn broke.
Yeah, this is really, really smart from DRX. They've been not going B much. This time, find a great window. Have that showstopper available to clear sight and get the pit through. So that's a good way to leapfrog your ults into a very safe post plant, especially when there's no ults on the other side to really clear it. No Armageddon, no Rolling Thunder, nor no Dimensional Drift. That means it's just hold down your angles and don't get caught. Keep Estrella alive. Protect the VIP here.
Oh,
That's
I was
great.
wondering how I
Jump spotting it, yeah.
Yeah.
That was really smart. Stingers, Sheriff, and an op.
Given that they pulled off a 30 before, it's certainly within the realm of possibility. Buzz right now is not on the break side of the map to try to really find impact. Game Crash is just arriving over towards A.
Again, though, DRX is just having their way with this site and having very good control over this space, even with the Tejo breach.
He's not connecting, but him in around the back here. Looking for the peak, and then finds the timing. Izu been coming through that door fast. Stacks, just plants his feet. Puts one right between the eyes of Kempman, but the follow-up from the remaining players up here on the side of DRX, once again, is just too damn good. The Stinger's not finding value. The op going to be lost on the floor. As it's going to be damn near flawless, it would seem here, barring Sylvan finding some very solid impact here, which will not be found. DRX now back into the lead. 4 rounds consecutive. 2 away, taking away T1 map pick.
Man, they're just doing a great job. Scaling into sight.
Honestly, the shot from Stacks.
I do too.
I mean, he was... I think it was like the millisecond that he stopped moving.
That was good. Good timing. Dan's been watching some Rays players and how they land and shoot. That was nice, but yeah, like Hyunmin in particular has been really impressive on this attacker side for DRX. Back up into positives for the KD. Tied with Mako with total kills, but he's been leading the charge. And he's been set up by good control of space. And then with finally T1 taking control of A Rubble, response as well from Izu to set up the pit at C, really try to funnel DRX into B if possible. Very, very worst. can go back, shift your weight into A, try to shut down this hit. Buzz and Sylvan though. Buzz dodges the Nightfall. Sylvan definitely can't.
Just on the one. Spots out the TP, now looks to try to reposition. Becoming on the hunt, just sending himself forward. Time to get damage, caught a glimpse of a couple players, but cannot find anything realistically here. Not found quite just yet. Tuck in behind from Meteor, just staying stagnant in position, hearing all this movement, waiting for a timing. He can try, turn back, find some impact.
Cakep banget.
Will get taken down, stacks at the same time, coming away
Dapat
with
info,
the
dapat info.
kills. Mako now, last one standing, having to back off. Tiny bit of damage going to be taken, but it looks like T1 well set to go ahead. Continue to tie this
Nice
up.
banget.
Mako with the attempt at the wide
Oh,
swing.
Meteor gak bisa main PO ya. Dia kurang banget
Make a
impactnya.
wish.
That was good. Since they're wearing the Make-A-Wish
Yeah,
shirt.
that was the point.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just trying to. I'm complimenting you.
I
Just
just-
take the compliment.
Okay, but it sounded like you were being a bit condescending.
Oh no. Not in
So-
this case. Sorry.
okay.
Normally you're right.
I misread.
Yeah. Normally I am condescending. You're not wrong. This is one of those rare exceptions, so I understand.
In that case, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Well, you've got some big alts. T1 maybe could get themselves up to map point, but like these rolling gunners and dimensional drifts haven't been super effective for T1, especially on this defender side. They need to find some real value out of it. DRX has had good answers to those alts, even if it's just losing one player, or in the case of the Rolling Thunder, tucking a player and drop. Gonna use the lockdown. I don't think there's any hope in hell that T1 can clear this. With a run.
Yeah. Everybody push into the back corner. No taints. No minor jumps forward to get caught, but oh my god, gentlemen on the swing. Able to find one, looks for a little bit more. Tiny bit of damage going to be there onto Meteor, but he is able to hold his ground. Buzz finally the way. Flash up for the moment, jumps out of it, shorty in hand. Mako going to be taking down player advantage now here for the side of T1.
Please take the match point, please.
Gaining control of the site. Everyone from DRX
Spike di mana dah?
pushed back, disconnected here.
Ah, Spike di situ lagi.
They're waiting for the taps. Buzz just goes strafing through the smoke. He's able to find one. Spray now coming through, but Meteor holding
Nice,
for the
menang.
defuse, and he is going to hold it to
Woo!
success. T1 take the round away. Two players
Yo, please,
surviving.
one more.
Get up to map point.
That's great by T1, saving that Yoru ultimate for the right moment on that retake, smothering Mako with util, stunning him up. I mean, Hyunmin trying to get ahead of the curve, and had that timing been a little bit sooner, maybe he could catch Meteor off guard, but Meteor ready for it. Then they know they have to get out ahead of this to make sure the plant is safe. Distract hit mountain. There was no post-plant mollies or anything like that left for DRX at that moment, but still, with the angles that you can take from mount, it would be difficult to just hold the defuse, so T1 still has to get ahead of it, and they do.
Bago
It's
sila
gonna be
timeout.
the last timeout of regulation. Yeah. It's DRX trying to find a way to take this to overtime, and that would be kind of what
Par for the course, honestly,
Yeah.
for what we were expecting coming into today.
exactly. I wasn't expecting what happened in that first series. I don't expect it to happen here.
Mereka happy-happy aja kayaknya, nggak tegang anjing.
Bit more tight-knit, bit more of a better understanding of each other between the two teams. Obviously, just an immense amount of history across the board. Now, let's see if this is going to be good enough for DRX to get that 12-12 scoreline. See what the economy looks like. Here is, yep, okay, go ahead. Get everything nicely together. Still had a decent amount of cash money.
Yeah, not too bad. Away from another showstopper already for Gunman. Meteor, love to get that Armageddon in there. Oh my god.
That's a seize on the Buzz.
Okay.
Oh, TP. Okay, wall still raised. Mako just strafing in and winning the fight. Stacks. Shut down.
Mako ini serem banget cok mainnya kalau main di Lotus tuh.
Mako. A very solid opening kill. Just unset Buzz swinging onto the corner. Able to
Woo!
find one. And backed.
Ace?
through the smoke. Buzz absolutely destroying the short
Aduh.
somehow able to come away with that, but Meteor swoops in, finds it, and we are just down in the mud. Freeing brings us now into a 1v1. The door being watched. Sylvan free shooting a 3K of his own in reply, and there it is. The timeout call, I don't think it meant a damn thing, but we're going to overtime all the same.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Just this little sidestep from Mako, throws, stacks off, and then you think round's done. 3K for Buzz, and he goes hopping the corner because he had hit with the.
Kenapa dia nggak bakal ngira kalau bakal dari smoke ya?
And Estrella is able to recover in time. I think he turned it well enough. Oh my goodness. The fans here are stunned. I'm stunned. That looked like it was going to be okay. We're going to fracture. Nope. Freeing, showing up when he's needed most. Hitting a great one against Sylvan. Sylvan had the angle held, but again, the crosshairs just a bit off for T1. They pay the price. Huge reveal from that haunt.
Lead up and over the top here. Anybody, but ooh, freeing.
Nice banget.
On a walkabout. Not
Nice.
find anything at
Dua
Mondo
dapat.
this time at Tree. Loses out of the
Nggak mungkin
fight.
kalah dong.
Buzz is there, ready for the punish.
Gak ada sentinel, gak ada smoker, mereka nggak bisa defense.
Two huge reads on both sides of the map by T1.
Ya ada Estrella sih, tapi smoke-nya kan cuma Viper.
Is that all that you tell?
Fight not being thrown. TP in a little bit deeper, holds the door for
Nice
one.
one.
Cannot get disconnected from the fight fast enough. Sylvan goes crazy with a 3K. And Buzz will find the finisher. T1 will find map point once again.
Yeah, I think Sylvan probably feeling a little bit grumpy that he couldn't get that last kill. Close the map out. Comes alive. A nice setup with him and Meteor, expecting a push out from freeing early. That's just good read by Buzz to get ahead of Mako's TP. Sylvan, phenomenal work. Just barreling forward with the Vandal. T1, one more round.
Oh, maybe we would see the timeout, but
yeah, that's a good point.
not called.
Thought maybe an early one, but you know, if Termy likes what he's hearing in the comms, then he'll just let it go. He's hearing what he was going to say anyway. Good to go.
Yeah. Bounce the TP forward, the fight now in towards Baby Door.
Makonya apa ya, coy ya?
It's Gunman's kill.
Rese banget Mako,
Comes
cok.
up with some nonsense from time to time, but that was not one of them. But he will be able to find a follow-up as Buzz can take it down similarly.
Winnable.
For one of the
Winnable.
opponents, quite a bit of damage. Sylvan still firing back,
Aduh.
but this time it's Mako's turn to pick up a 3K. Because that'll be the reset. 13 and 13.
Makonya apa lah, cok?
Maybe T1 and DRX saying, you know what? We want our record back.
Rese banget anjing
We
Mako.
want that longest OT series. In VCT.
Yes,
Obviously,
in franchise.
yeah, the first strike series.
Sylvan pretty good, but Mako just coming alive. Not going to let a repeat of what happened in the previous round, where he just goes down. Not much of a fight. Comes swinging. Buzz having a good map, 24 and 18 on the Yoru. Pressure again from DRX early. Wanting to challenge that double stacked angle that Meteor and Sylvan were holding. They're going to back him off, but Buzz has gone way out towards A. And that's pulled a ton of DRX players over, so is T1 going to have the confidence?
Ya, timing!
Freeing though, oh my god.
That is the tip of the spear well severed. Max trying to creep forward. Lives there on the bane. Continues to scale up and Gunman right with the crossfire angle. Not sure why Stacks thought he was going to be able to get away with that.
That's very uncharacteristic. Freeing
Allah.
again, good for another.
DRX now looking at themselves. Map point for the first time. Actually in flawless fashion. Just Sylvan and Meteor. Try to be the difference makers. Misses the timing and gets the clips from above. But Bane is also holding the angle. And this round is completely sideways here for T1. Barring an ace clutch from Sylvan.
Done it before.
He has. Oh, remember that split. 1v5.
No ult though.
Bridge too far.
Yeah. OT, so no ult. have seen the leg. No.
Flawless. It's the DRX. Will gain this lead, T1. Question is, do we see a timeout call from Autumn to try to extend this even further? Right now, timer continues to tick down.
I probably would pull the trigger on it here. This one looked a little bit too isolated for my likes. You know, a lot of players trying to work the map by themselves and just getting outread by DRX. The timing's there for Buzz, just a great read by Freeing. I don't know what Stacks is doing. That one's ambitious no matter who you are. See, DRX on the attacker side. They're out their moment. Sylvan asks to hold Mound down by himself.
Buzz goes back, see the stray up. Let's go their separate ways. DRX aggressively scaling forward over towards C. Smoke out forward, picked up here by Gunman. 2 away from having a showstopper.
One of those rounds where you play for 2 orbs. Aggressive positioning by Meteor. Not much he can do. He's back off.
Red salvos at the ready.
Imagine they just hit all of them on the entry. Yeah, a little early.
Red salvos going out. Full line from Stacks not really connecting. Has this decent follow-up though. Days looking for any kind of damage they can get. All of it for now avoided. 36 seconds remaining here. DRX, the clock starting to dwindle, but Freeing finding an entry, swoops in, finds easy. Sylvan's only going to be good for one before getting taken down. Meteor will go ahead. Notes the flank, deals with Mako. Brings us now into a 3v3. Mike Plant gets handed to Bane. So Gentleman still not yet having the showstopper online, but it's 1 charge away. Shock to try to clear it. Double position. Salvos as well. Send Bane flushing forward. Veil stuff there. On to Stacks. The showstopper now. In hand. Meteor backpedaling frantically over towards Waterfall. Paint Shell now at his feet. Damage avoided, but needs to try to clutch it out. He's just tagged up and about to be taken down. The shorty of that distance, not going to do a damn thing, but he's got 8 bullets left in the mag.
Apaan sih? Yung tim apa sih itu? Ah, ya. Udah jelas banget sekarang T1 dah. So banget, wah.
And take down T1 on their map pick of Lotus.
Oh, you just have to be so impressed. You know, DRX
Stupid
bringing new
anjing,
players in,
so
having to
banget
swap
tuh.
things.
Bentar, gue mau ngerjain ini dulu. Jelas banget, tai. Gitu mulu lu kalahnya, ih. Bentar ya. Anjing ada main ome, jir.
Pusing kan kalau belajar, investasi, sama trading kriptonya di tempat yang beda-beda? Kenapa?
Hey yo, nah, you funny, bro. Nah, the way you did your face like that.
Oh my god.
Nah, you killed me, man.
You about that you,
I don't know where he's at, man.
kayak dia yang nahan flag
Gue nggak mau yang Indo. No, Sion graduation, Cak. A lot of things going on nih. Sion. Azan. lagi.
as cool in the same way some other
Players are stacked up in this position.
Oke, ini. Tahu-tahu.
It's the salvos. Check
Baik,
in.
Bang.
Couple shots blown his way. It's the wise call to slowly drift across towards that B site. Wall and Thorns, however, are still set up.
Yeah, so he's going to be delayed enough. T1 going to be able to make their rotates over.
So there's the wall pop. There's Thorns. There's quite a bit of damage taken.
Kena 40 lumayan.
60 remaining. It's the plant in play. It's a crossover towards arcade. Worried about any kind of push around from
Mainnya
this
bareng-bareng
north
sih,
side.
bagus
Now
ya.
can just stay tucked back in here behind the boxes. Set up for the salvos.
Down to some timings for him. Heard the footsteps.
You're crossing. Gets the final shot there. Tries to straight back over towards Suet. Cannot make it out to safety. T1, go ahead, get the defuse and get their first pistol.
Yeah, this is a great read from T1. You know, they see Bane leaving early, and they're expecting that rotate back towards A, and Stacks hitting that opening shot. Very important that he's able to shut Gunman down there. That stalls up everything for the side of DRX. Sylvan, nice work with the Classic to find two. Brain trying to do what he can, but just a little bit too much of an ass there. Couldn't get the kill quickly enough on the Meteor. Got caught trying to switch over to the salvos. Let's see if T1 can get this going. There's a Stinger and a Sheriff.
Stinger and a half armor and the Sheriff on Bane, so okay. Players spying down about 1,400 here. As Orange is going to be lobbed out, popped. Online getting the hit here, swing onto the corner, and Gunman, those bullets connecting, buys enough time. Bane to push forward, they lose Mako in transit, but still are able to find the trade up, so got player advantage in their hands. Buzz pushing, eating some damage, finds the headshot, gets the transition across onto Estrella as well. Just like that, T1 up back in the driver's seat. Guardian recovered, however, from Bane, still an opportunity to do some damage. He himself tagged up to 35 in the first couple shots, not quite connecting. Buzz eating a little bit more there. Over the player, out from tower. Both player positions should be known. Bane taken down, freeing now, needing to do it all, and for a second, looked like he was going to be able to find a little bit more, but three players surviving. T1 will close out the anti-eco.
Yeah, a lot of damage done there to T1 though. Armor's gone for both Stacks and Buzz. So, all in all, not bad at all for DRX. Able to find those early util connections that keep the players of T1 off balance. Meteor stunned up, able to be taken down. Quick trade there for Bane, but that's a nasty, nasty flick. Buzz continuing right where he left off on Lotus, having a very strong day as the duelist for T1.
Yep, he had Stacks.
Yeah, Stacks too had a nice mount.
Look back, he was top rank for the longest time. He might have not that way. For the moment, it's going to be deathless at 3-0 and 2. Halfway towards that rolling thunder. Estrella only just the 2 charges of his deaths, I believe.
A little bit earlier on the change of direction for Bane there. To be a little bit further ahead of that stealth drone. Same reaction as we saw in the pistol round from T1. Right back to A main. A little bit further ahead of it this time though.
Oh, for shots. Flying through and freeing. Able to just break things open. And then Aftershock going to be disrespected and ignored as Wall dissipating Hyunmin, wanting to try to scale forward, but really Mako is able to find it. Hyunmin finally just drawing their attention here.
Phenomenal covering fire for freeing. Let's see if Derek can close this out flawless.
Still identifying DRX for a flawless anti-bonus. Sylvan eating some damage there on the drop down. Hyunmin still untouched, dancing around. Hunts him out again.
Pancing terus aja, nggak apa-apa, pancing terus. Kalian punya banyak duit kan?
Be some very clean shots, trying to get some damage through, and there you go, one to the head. As everybody is backpedaling away, Mako going to stick around to look and see, make sure that he can't try to get any kind of defuse going through. Gets the kill onto Meteor, and will be able to escape. So single casualty, DRX get themselves on the board here in round number 3.
Yeah, just really well prepared for T1 to be where they are. Just holding that angle the whole time is freeing, and Buzz just kind of walks right into it. Tako there, able to back up Hyunmin nicely. This time around, ooh, not much HP left there on Mako, but got out all the same. And he, okay, I was gonna say, for a second he had a Spectre, but we get that Phantom in hand, all Phantoms for the side of DRX. Seen a few players kind of swapping between the guns. Meteor, I noticed.
A Vandal.
Oh, you're right, freeing his Vandal.
Yeah,
You're right.
One apiece. Bring it easy.
I was gonna say Meteor was swapping on Lotus. Didn't seem like he was comfortable on the Vandal. Switched over to the Phantom eventually.
Armageddon now to try to open things up. T1 can just try to fill space on the back of this. And Buzz
Cakep
just
banget,
hung
Buzz.
up a timing, sprays down in towards A main, finds one. Spring falls. Mako similarly dead. Criminal able to trade one out, but Bane finds another, brings it back to parity, a 3v3, but HP bar is really in tatters here for the side of DRX. Everyone tagged up, no one at full HP. Just quickly trying to pivot their way across over towards the B site. Sylvan gets into position.
Aduh.
The jump, but Estrella draws down, eats a ton more damage, down to 15 health, but is able
Mati
to
dong.
find that kill. He'll get stunned in position, he will die. It's a plant in play. It's now a 2v2.
It'll be so tough. Look how far back DRX is playing. Push these angles and win these fights.
Shock should tell him that it's gonna be on the right-hand side, but Bane just goes crazy. What a snap to get the first. And mows down stacks for the 3K overall. DRX tie it up 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it might be T1's round. You get a bunch of kills off the rip.
3v5 it.
Yeah. And then DRX able to punch right back. Win a couple fights. Shift over to the other side. Estrella wins a huge one against Sylvan. Sylvan there, 100% the right play to try to challenge that, but
It's a smile of a man who just
Yalah,
pounded his way through a round despite having appendicitis.
cloudnya udah ngecewain gue, jangan ikutan dong.
he is looked pretty solid today overall. Buzz trying to follow up off the stealth drone, seeing if they can catch a change of ideas from DRX off the back of that. But Meteor's dead.
That he is. Stuck up, flashed, and been in on top of him. Outgunning him as well. Plan coming through, Estrella dodging out in the bullet spray.
Payne's going all the way across the rope.
Riding towards that north side. There's Buzz just dropping down. Overdrive's gonna be popped. Tournament fully flashed up, does end up falling. Izu able to find out with the Sheriff. Swing onto the door though, Stacks. A headshot! Putting one back in kind. Diffuse now held up to half as the volley hits the floor. T1 somehow gets this back in a somewhat winnable position. Still odd stacked against them, and yeah, with that spray shot connecting, that'll bring it to a conclusion, but damn solid effort from the thrifty attempt here from T1, but DRX not to be denied.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, but you know, T1 is constantly applying pressure at the other side of the map, at the north side in the beginning of the rounds. And DRX is kind of aggressively taking space now. And they're just, I mean, yes, weaker by 4T1 in this one, but plenty of damage done. Maybe even a world where Diffuse gets a little bit closer, but you know, Bane felt like he had enough time to go for the wraparound. Didn't end up mattering, but now you've got the operator for Buzz. Izu one away from his ult, Stacks has his, Sylvan has his. Seemingly be a tricky round for DRX.
Double reclear up into Arcade. And that's going to be free and caught. Do they know that Hyunmin's in position? So the answer is no, though. So he's able to find one. He goes on the corner, finds Sylvan. Now knows they have him dead to rights as things start getting absolutely chaotic. Smoke dissipating over here at main. Stacks able to find one, but Kenman comes away with a third as Stacks will fall. Kenman currently on for an ace. Runs around the back, clearing out the cam, clearing out the trip, up in hand. Try to re-clear it, get them right forward here to the site. A lot of this is going to be on the shoulders of Izu. He does get the jump on Bane. Has the Salvos, has the Armageddon. Is he off? Descended. The answer is going to be yes. That flush is
Oh, and a
straight up
flash.
forward, but the flash fully connects. Now into the 1v1. Stuns exchanged. Connects onto Izu. Estrella holding the corner and has the shot instantaneously.
Oh!
Close but no cigar. Economy broken. DRX now up by 2.
That's brutal for DRX. That's a round again where you have a bunch of ultimates and they don't really find enough effect. And instead, you're just getting picked apart. A couple good moments, but what a flash from Estrella. And then the cleanup as well. That last one, yeah, very nice. Bane has the neural theft. Meteor has
Malas
the
ko
garden,
yung
but
pangan chop.
so accoutrement by T1 again. Trying to do something.
Oh, trying to get a catch. It's going to be a repeat confidence play from Meteor.
Why not?
Take some parts, moments like that from Meteor. And he has 2 trophies.
Yeah, he's so good with the Sheriff. That's why he has all that confidence. He's better than most. Slow push up, just Buzz here at A. And a lot of these defensive ideas for T1 not really holding true for them. When they get closer to the Armageddon, they're like slow creep up.
That's around the corner, dead. Sprayed through his Estrella. Finds that kill. Fast lane now set up, stuns out. As Buzz being focused here a little bit by the salvos, but as the smokes are dissipating, T1, they just rack up all the kills.
Yeah. Starting point nyo.
Buzz just absorbs all of the damage. And
Mga
that's
detective
T1
kanya
pulling off
strong.
a thrifty. I mean, Mako, 25 seconds to try to make anything happen, but it looks like it's just going to be the call to save. Checks back in around this attacker spawn, nothing to be seen. Still trying to hold on to the weapon. T1 bringing it back to touching distance.
That is madness. I'd love to see some of that back from T1 player angles. That's crazy spicy. It's going to go down to Mako, but
You care too much.
no,
Pull off the thrifty. You get one away from tying it up.
not at all. That's just all of a sudden, it looked like this was going to be not too bad. And yeah, you lose Bane early, but clear stacks out. You're executing on the side. Sylvan just finds a great timing to hit Estrella in the back. And all of a sudden, there's 3 T1 players barreling down on top of you as DRX. It's a thrifty. It's one of those timing trap plays that T1 loves to run. You're just stuck as DRX. Plenty of money, though. Still both ults for the same players. Buzz has an op again. Gonna be forced off by the stun.
Get back onto the angle, but Smoke's now called in to obfuscate. Smoke drone checking, not spotting.
Those are Sylvan smokes, so trying to play for another push across the ropes. It's kind of been DRX's MO, so T1 gonna lean into it. See if they can shut this down.
Shock holding back the Sands position. Buzz the peek in the mid, nails a shot. Jiggle peek out, sending the relay bolt, catches a glimpse there as well. Of Ring. A bit of damage going to be taken. Tries to go for the reposition, and I don't think he's going to be ready for this one. No, he is not. Ring will get in on top, coming away with the green.
Astaga, kenapa sih?
Meteor.
Yung biasa nggak sejago
In
ini
a
loh.
huge way. The double face out, isolates down to one.
Biasa Hyunmin nggak sejago ini
Mako
anjing.
draws the ghost,
Geng
the
gua gitu
sidearm,
DRX gak pernah sejago ini
delivering
Hyunmin
the
cok.
final shots. DRX reestablishing a 2-round lead.
Yeah, I mean, so much pressure at this A side. I mean, util after util after util, and DRX just can't find a way to add some extra numbers over towards that A main battle. So Buzz is on a really tricky position this whole time where he's got a couple different angles to worry about. Does a decent job in the beginning, but nobody else on T1 is able to get into a spot to help him comfortably. They're trying to push through from A-Link, but they're stalled up. That kind of gives DRX the advantage they need to claim that space and open things up. T1 fought tooth and nail, but back to the ecos. Granted, they've been having some success with them today. A couple big eco wins for T1. It's not a position you want to be in on a consistent basis. Not freeing as an Armageddon to boot. They're gonna go all the way through sewers. They haven't done this yet, so trying to catch T1 a bit off guard.
Bit of a change up, but that peak from the north side about to come through. Izu. So making his way closer across, and that jiggle peak tells all. Spots out multiple players. Meteor now reinforcing this spot as well. Flash not connecting. Looks for the transition there. Stun does come through, and Fring will peel off a kill. Bane now striking in from behind his name. Sylvan caught off guard. Buzz arriving frantically, just dashing around with just a classic in hand. Ends up falling, but this is DRX gaining control of the site. Sax will take the rope towards that north side, where a weapon can be recoverable. Freeing. Just look to try to protect them here.
Scrappy. They just running around like crazy people with the neons. Let's see what these last two players can do. A little bit of util for Izu. Grab the Phantom.
Stun connecting. Question is it going to be cosmetic? The answer is no, it is not. Or rather, yes, it absolutely is. Sorry, I mixed it up. Because my brain's about as scrambled as both of those players as Spring comes away with 2 headshots.
Tim apa sih? Kalau kayak udah ngecewain gua sekarang T1, ha? Siapa lagi yang mau ngecewain gua?
Looking forward to esports Doug Malding. I mean, it's just madness. Izu plays this really nice in the beginning of the round.
How does he get?
Even he can't believe it.
Yeah. Hello.
I did it. Thank you.
Yeah. He can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't remember the saying. Timeout will, at long last, be called. It feels like. I mean, 6-3 for a while. It's so back and forth, but I hadn't seen any intervention. T1 will finally pump the brakes.
I mean, some of these rounds have been so close, one way or the other. I mean, great reads on both sides. Sometimes it's just coming down to who can add that bigger impact in the heat of the moment. Some good pressure applied on the north side of the map by T1 has consistently given them some ability to react pretty well to DRX, but DRX is just fighting back. Got some great ideas and great teamwork today. a big Meteor fan.
Wanting at least clutch there from the tail.
Yep. I mean, that's something Freeing has done.
Yeah.
That is not an unreasonable ask. Well, kind of is, but we've seen it, so therefore, I'm okay with it.
It's within the realm of possibility. As Owen's looking to just lock down this position here for now. Stun on the corner, obviously not going to connect. Drone, oh boy, will look to try to force him back. Slide in, coming in, looking to really up the pace there. Does end up dying as Sylvan holds down the site. Cannot escape from the Armageddon. Sax, however, able to find Estrella, does make sure that they have the player advantage. As Freeing will not be able to find it. Stat, oh boy, will look locked down ability. Now, looking to really up the pace there. Does end up dying as Sylvan holds down the site.
Round for Sylvan and Stax. Find some good timings. A great util dump, a crunch coming through from the B main ramp. And all of a sudden, Sylvan comes alive from the site itself. Just has to eat the altar. You know, he's gonna get shot one way or another, so just goes for the shots. Comes through with it. Stax has nice timing himself outside of Gen.
And then we get a timeout call from DRX.
Love it.
Basically back to back here. Let's see what the adjustments look like. Still in the lead, in a position to at least have that tied up half. But remain wanting every possible advantage, it would seem.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a back and forth between these two teams. You know it would be.
Yeah.
Just know each other way too well. And both these coaches have done a phenomenal job this year with some kind of interesting things going on. T1, it looked like maybe they were going to be the weaker team, and they came back, and Autumn got them through to a trophy, and then DRX has had some kind of player changes and things like that they've been able to just...
They've been going to the ringer lately.
Yeah.
I mean...
And look at the
Flashback now being moved down to the academy team.
Right.
This being the permanent core 5. Bane is playing with appendicitis.
Yeah.
Like, it's been blow after blow. And now DRX doing pretty well to handle it. He's still going neutral here in the K&E department. As Meteor missing the timing. Well, advanced the smoke, but Estrella catching a glimpse. As that Stinger point-blank range is able to put him down. DRX with a lower investment, still looking to try to get this one across the line, but Sylvan does come away with two. Estrella freeing both, going to be eliminated. Bane picks up another as clear on the tripwire, gives away Buzz's position as well as just him sprinting forward, and Mako is not ready for it. Sun out Bane just lingering here within the smoke. The Vandal recovered, picks up a 3K. Buzz now. Last one left, the overdrive to expire. The wraparound being threatened here. Buzz completely surrounded, is dancing, and it's gonna be Bane through the box to find it a 4K to guarantee DRX the lead of the half.
I mean, it's just crazy how some of these rounds basically come down to timings. I mean, if Estrella...
There was noise when he was sprinting.
It just must have been the footsteps. But still, at timings like that, where if Meteor's maybe half a second earlier, he finds that kill and it could be a completely different round. They're coming at you from a bunch of different angles. I'm waiting for someone from DRX to hold in B tunnel. This Buzz has been kind of ignoring that. He's been able to find some pretty quick flanks. I mean, even though DRX still wins the round, if they decide to go B again, let's see what they do. This time a heavy presence from DRX on the north side of the map. There's going to be the Vice Wall, though. They're going to be tripping, so some info over.
Oh, no. Sliding forward, looking for it.
Oh,
Mako does end up finding the kill. So
Throwing
strikes are going to be stacked on top of each other, and Sylvan
Ito na
comes away with two once again.
carry what
Not
yun.
Bane, Mako going to be taken down. T1 desperately looking for this thrifty, and now it's looking likely. It's backpedaling away. Estrella just stuck with a shorty in hand. There's the Steel Guard and took away his weapons. Eddie Huntman, this is going to be pushed to oblivion by the Rolling Thunder. Still, maybe a little bit cosmetic, finds the first kill. Things get chaotic again, and now we go into the half with DRX up 7-5.
It's just madness. Both orbital strikes here. Trap him in. I mean, nice play by Sylvan. He's always feels like he's always good for two in these rounds. Just, can you get a little bit more consistency from the rest of the squad? Well, Steel Garden, great. I mean, that was
Hell of a half.
yes. It's been just so chaotic. That's not what you usually expect out of these two teams. It's usually a little more. Yeah.
Oh, I think they very much know what's at stake in that desperation of sticking that upper side of the bracket, being one win away from Toronto. It's starting to set in. DRX especially wanting to be able to get their way back. Perfect synergy. I think you got to go with Freak's Tail.
Oh.
For me, it's just
It's Freak's Teo, yeah.
because Hyunmin, like, I don't.
He's
really,
good on everything.
Yeah, I don't really think about any particular agent with him.
No. I think he's really solid on most agents that he plays.
Oh, come on. What kind of option is this? I crave this win versus who's the best team in Korea, you know?
I mean, I always take who's the best team in Korea now myself.
Yeah.
But that's kind of an odd second choice.
That's like, would you like a gourmet meal or a pile of dirt? Which one would you like to ingest? It's not much of a decision to be made.
No, I tend to agree. Well, T1 trying to keep the pistol success rolling. Again, it has been a real pain point for them. Huge push out over towards A main for DRX. Doesn't really tell them a ton. But now they're starting to be a little bit suspicious that either the players are north or they're in B main. Buzz is starting to make his way into Meteor, or excuse me, Hyunmin's starting to make his way into Meteor's back. Well, Buzz all the way up on the dish, almost in a drop.
Here, trying to stay tucked. Tagged up. Oh, not quite checking for the angle. Still find the kill. Stun here onto Estrella as it gets awkward, and Meteor capitalizes in the chaos.
A panic moment there. cost DRX 2 players. Meteor just no fear. Continuing to storm into the back lines of DRX. They have no choice but try to go for the spike.
Bronco Fane now being delivered in a huge way, but Simon's completely surrounded with Meteor scaling forward through the defender spawn. Smoke called down, aftershock sent here. Bronco will catch a timing, finds the headshot. Stack's gonna be put down. Looks for a little bit more, does find Meteor. The salvos come through, the time is just not gonna be there. T1 taking that first step forward towards running back this map and taking us to a third. They will go ahead and close out another pistol.
This is just a little bit of an unfortunate timing for DRX. I mean, Meteor reads it nicely, anticipating that there might be pressure behind him, but this stun catches Estrella and Hyunmin as he's trying to jump around and dodge Meteor. Meteor is not gonna make it easy for you. Tako trying to do what he can, but very nice for T1. Again, pistols desperately needed for them, and they get both here on Fracture.
Bronco with the 3 kills though. Already halfway towards that orbital strike. And keep in mind for the future. As Bane, okay, situated in tower, just has a shorty here. Spot out the camera.
Pretty typical. He's going to be up there on an eco with a shorty.
Here, Mako about to come through. Okay, never mind. Just a couple shots to the box. The lobs to back away. Wow. This side of A site completely opened up.
Where to trip that wall. Yeah, it was right there.
Meteor, once again, going on a bit of a walkabout if the plan comes through. Potential 1v1 versus Bane over on that side. Bane still maybe a little bit wary of it. Silva taking a forward position, pushes up, does still get stunned. Again, been able to collect one, but will die in response. Estrella similarly going to be taken down. And it seems like the rest of the round from here can play out pretty smoothly for T1.
Certainly seems that way, especially Bane having that shorty. Trying to find the opportunity to use it. Just going to wait the timeout. Hope maybe a T1 player comes their direction. He might get Meteor here. Oh, never mind.
But over the top, Meteor will go ahead and find one. Mako to make this a little bit more costly. It gets an extra kill in, but 3 players surviving here from the side of T1. That will tie us up at 7-7.
It is pretty crazy how back and forth this has been. I mean, it's pretty similar scenes to what we saw on Lotus. Both these teams just so good. Bit of damage done, but Stack's just watching the long angle. Position revealed. Bane goes down.
Yuk,
So
bisa.
far, Meteor being a real nuisance
Starting point yuk.
by himself over on the B main side. There's going to be an answer for that from the side of DRX.
Masih nggak beli sih?
See Gunman
Oh, biar next roundnya kalau kalah.
lining up to get that cam a little bit deeper, checking to see if Meteor's over there, but this time on his own over at A main. Orb, ult, grab, 4 stacks. And now they've got a rolling thunder. So this could be pretty tricky for DRX. Really far forward though is Bane.
Rolling Thunder, pushing Bane back. Cage coming up, but Buzz on his heels, spraying through, trying to find what he can, but it's going to be Silva there to collect.
Yeah, reload.
Drifting forward, runs out of bullets. Easer strikes him down. Guardian shot to the head, and suddenly T1 in control of the site. Spike planted and up by 2.
Oh, okay. Estrella finds a stray.
Some one, decent damage on the stacks, and Silva's they're both 66. Let's try to open up a bit of space. 3 players.
Jangan intip Izu, jangan intip Izu, jangan
Push
intip.
back over here towards his arcade side with Buzz slowly drifting through the sewer, but DRX, they're not going fast.
Saving nggak sih?
They're
Saving
opting
nggak
to
sih?
go for the save. They're gonna backpedal away, and T1 is gonna gain the lead.
Just a great rolling thunder there. And the follow-up from T1. Perfect. They just go storming in off the back of it.
Silva
Don't
nggak dapat
wanna let the
senjata.
opportunity slip.
Kan ada senjata Hyunmin.
Try as they might, DRX
Diambil apa?
players just could not find any safety. Sure, you get one, but it's got to feel good. T1 converting their bonus. All of a sudden, DRX kind of maybe wondering, ooh, was this the right map pick?
Uncertain. That is a huge win. I mean, obviously 3 weapons carried forward, but for Bane and Estrella, we're not going to be having too much going into the round. You can see just a classic full armor here for the Breach. Passing that weapon over to Yundin.
Just wrap the gun off your fallen comrades, maybe, but a bit of info there. Buzz, he's often going to be tip of the spear, but you see him kind of run around on his own. But DRX, with just that one player there, Freeing says, I don't really think I can comfortably hold this, especially against a Neon. Need a little bit of reinforcements. Notice that vice wall again. The real question is you want to just fake trip it? Yep. And just go back in towards A. Buzz is all the way in spawn.
Oh boy. The noise of the ping's coming down on his position. Seems like they have this well read. Bane, just a ghost, is going to be a bit more trepidatious to try to go for the attack here.
This is such
time. Double face forward on the Meteor. He's looking for a timing, but he's unable to find it. And we will collect it. And Mako in from behind as well. Please guarantee a trade out. In the meantime, though, B site being taken. Plant comes through the bottom of the stairs. 4 stacks. Ult's unavailable here from either side. Skeezer trying to scale forward, take that fight. Ring ends up getting taken down. Sylvan trying to recover here on the reload for being blind. He's unable to find it. Buzz now striking in from behind, however. We'll find once Mako will get taken down. Zach here on the verge, right on the edge of that smoke. Buzz is now the last one standing. Tries to set up the relay bolt, but is his head taken off? The fuse is in. DRX, they tie us up now 8-8.
This is really nice recovery for DRX because, like, looking at the map, T1 is all over the place. Buzz is on his own over at A site. He gets all the way into your spawn. Meteor's lurking around A, the bottom side of A and B. And then the rest of them are just kind of slow pushing through arcade, and then you're able to get this retake to go quite cleanly. So that is a very solid round for DRX, and now you're back to 8-8. Gunman's got the overdrive. See if he can continue to be a nuisance. Izu, let go, try to look for some of that Cypher util. We'll catch one of the trips. The other one's still at the front of B there. Drone. Yep. So, shocker, the vice wall in the exact same place, but there's an arc rose on the other side.
She said everything for me. I didn't have
She
to
did.
Yeah. The Vice just doing the commentary. This was forced away, but Sylvan covering fire comes up with 2. Then a third.
Is the si Sylvan?
Just using Buzz as a bit of a distraction. Now the plant in here for T1. Bane's still a world
Goal
away.
lang alay mo
Longo,
sila
the only
dito.
player nearby.
Tapay mo.
And it's going to have to be another save as T1 will once again gain the lead.
It's just so back and forth. I mean, just looking for these little advantages, like these round-around changes that you see. They're all over the place, and that time Meteor tries something a little bit different, but DRX still able to dissect it, not get caught in the trap, and yet when they try to make a move back towards the site, Sylvan's already there, and he's letting Buzz do some of the hard work for sure, but he hits some nasty shots. That's 3, and on the hunt now, T1. Seeing if there's anybody lurking around, but it is a never mind.
Nice.
Caught Mako.
It's a 1-gun save.
Ekonominya berantakan tuh.
Painful.
That it is. I mean, Mako maybe enough to pass over something like a Guardian or a Bulldog going into that next round, but now it's not going to be able to do that. Sylvan lighting him up here. Huge 3K from him. And a timeout call now.
DRX.
Final one from
Korea
the
is
DRX
red.
camp.
I mean, this is a tough map to read right now. T1 is doing a great job of every round looks way different. They're making little micro adjustments with the lurks and with some of the player positionings. I mean, very difficult for DRX to kind of get info and make some reads off of it. Estrella really being put to the test as the IGL. Meanwhile, Stax is really putting on a pretty good show. I mean, granted, the counter punches have been good, but this attacker side really a little bit more tricky. It's Fracture. You've got a lot of space to work with. A lot of it's just making sure that you're getting your players in the right places at the right time, trying to keep track of the movements of your opponents. But again, T1's not making it easy because sometimes they'll send Buzz out on his own, and obviously you never know where Meteor's going to show up. You got to kind of wait for some of that initiator util to be thrown at you to start thinking about making the reactions, and a lot of rounds it's been a little too late. This time, the salvos, Buzz, maybe he was going to try to accelerate, but takes a pause, waiting to see if anybody's around the corner. Pushed forward by those salvos. Just making some noise, some distraction. Kind of the name of the game here.
Fault lines out. Great covering there again. For a moment, but the economy need to be absolutely certain.
Not in this economy.
Just gonna be shoved there in the main tripwire, closed out. Estrella nearby to try to offer some support here to Bane, who's alone in tower for the moment, but he just has that stinger at range.
You have to go huge.
Now starting to be pressured out. It's back around, swings in, is able to find one. Meteor going to be taken down, but eventually Buzz closes in the distance, finds him. Estrella similarly dead. He's still hovering this ult. They're going to commit for this. Oh boy. The Armageddon getting sent in. Feels like this might just be a bridge too far. No one going to be dead to that. Huntman does have the overdrive. Maybe can deliver on this front, but it's only going to be for the one kill as Izu out from tower. Peeks and finds the enemy Neon. Point blank Buzz. His Vine's freeing. Mako dead. T1 now up to double digits. And it feels like DRX overcooking and overcommitting.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I don't mind obviously throwing the overdrive when you're on an eco, but the Armageddon to try to push players into it. Bane finds a nice little safety spot there to spray down the players coming up ramp, and then but T1 is just coming at you from so many different angles, and they're toying with the timings. Like Meteor's clearing the trip, and then they're looking to see what the reaction is going to be off DRX. They don't just clear the trip and go, trying to figure out exactly what's going to happen, and Bane throws up a smoke. They start scaling in off the back of that. Gonna use those salvos once again to bully this arcade angle, but last round it was kind of a slow push up. Now it's over towards Dish, where there is a tripwire waiting. So spreading the map a little bit, our DRX, to try to get a little bit more info, to try to get ahead of this game. T1 has been playing, which is go all over the map and try to guess where we're gonna come from. Buzz is just gonna wait it out. He hears it. He's gonna wait for their moment. Yeah.
Just try to fake this. They didn't send a seal garden, but looks like he's just gonna slowly creep across over towards that arcade side. Sunset salvos as Rolling Thunder gonna be sent. Try to re-clear in towards Halls, but when they're to receive it as they try to go for the pinch. Little strike. Oh, splitting them apart. That Stacks isolated and dead. The Spike now stranded here on the side itself. Swing around the Rosie here. Sylvan gonna be able to find one, but Mako quickly
Tapi ya
trains them
selalu
out.
kalah di situasi yang aneh gitu.
4v2. Media's position noted. This should be known as well.
Nice.
Finds a hell of a shot. Puts the operator on the floor. Smoke now dissipating. As his own Armageddon gonna be called in. Mako forced to try to reposition. Finds the shot. Drops.
Gak mati
with 5
lah.
HP survives. Recovers the off. And gets DRX the round win. We are back
Kenapa sih kalahnya kayak
to
gitu, Cok?
breaking out. Things are getting weird again.
Absolutely, and this time T1, instead of planting right when they get to the site, they want to try to clear because they know that orbital strike is there. They don't find Mako, they don't find much in a main, so they come back and Stax is still like, okay, I know Mako's around there somewhere, so I'm gonna plant somewhere in kind of an unusual spot. It's not a default spot in the back corner, and Mako still reads it.
They're never gonna see I'm in the middle of
Yeah, I'm just out in the open, yeah.
Well, Gunman goes for the peak. Meteor taken
Ya
down.
kira kena full buy kah ya?
Feels like the first time we have a solid advantage for DRX at the start of the round.
Harus
Quite some
dihancurin
time.
sih pandangannya Hyunmin pakai overdrive.
One. So now on one of their potential ultimates, it could have been brought forward here.
Ini bunuh Bane terus langsung ulti, bah kacau ini.
Up space for freeing to quickly clear through
Jangan
spawn.
dibunuh. Nice.
Wide swing out, Buzz on the headshot. And gets taken down as Fastlane going to be sent. Youngman in danger. It's going to be free
Ultinya mana?
out from Tree,
Huge.
who spares him his life. Oh, Mako just doing his normal stuff, fighting Sylvan inside of a smoke.
Dari fucker lah.
Can take it down, but it's now all on Izu. The salvos and a stun. All that he has to work with comes from the flash. Stun going to be committed here. They clear up close.
Capek banget anjing ah. Ya, kenapa
Can be
T1?
recovered at DRX. Tying it up 10 to 10.
And this is why it's so big that they find Meteor early and get that pick, because it opens up the space for freeing to make that quick rotation through attacker side spawn to save Gunman's life, potentially save the round. Big opener. I mean, Buzz finds a great one. That is so nasty. Dude, freeing is, when he's on Teo, he's just different. Just different.
You mean when Teo's on free?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How can I say? How could I have gotten that wrong? Now, got the rolling
Gak tau
thunder.
gua, udah gak punya harapan anjing.
Cypher ult. T1 does have the steel guarded still. Able to,
Lets him know.
yeah, not able to find the timing though. They're still gonna keep pushing forward. They're gonna challenge this.
Position coming through. Meteor trying to approach in from main. Into the back and freeing again has Buzz's number. Rolling Thunder going to go across as well as the steel guard and everything in the kitchen sink being thrown here at the site. Straya. Dead as the aftershock. Able to catch him. You can only anticipate he was stunned up. Fight now, the action grinding to a halt. As noise gets cut. 4v4 with still Bane. Just the opposite side of the map.
Meteor creating that extra angle. T1's still keen to try to break through. Down to timing and util placement. Dax's fault line. Yuzu's salvo's off cooldown. Sylvan, no more smokes though.
Trying to flush him out, but Fastlane saved. And then keeps himself covered. Big tight angles here to try to use that operator, and he's losing teammates. Does manage to find one, swaps to the shorty, takes down Sylvan. Stacks.
Jauh.
Here for the side of T1, brings it now into a 1v1. Bane doesn't have the year-old depth, could try to go for the reveal, but should have a pretty good idea of Stacks' position. As there's the swing out, Bane will shut him down.
Gak jelas.
DRX reestablish the lead, 11 to 10.
Yeah, this is so back and forth. I mean, when it looks like one team has kind of found themselves an advantage, might be able to take the round, the other one just punching right back, and this time DRX trapped in a corner. The initial entry, you know, Buzz just sacrificing himself to try to clear space, and Stacks and Meteor able to follow up someone, but then Gunman, operator Shorty, just doing a great job behind that pillar. It's gonna have to be a timeout for T1. They need to figure out a way to get this attacker side to find the success they were having at the beginning.
Tadi kenapa nggak time
Now they're
out?
trying to get a different level of trickery where they'll make some contact somewhere, take a pause, and then try to set up for their execute. Again, setting up those crossfires, but by the time they got to the site, the biggest problem was Sylvan is out of smokes. They couldn't find that opening, couldn't create that easy entry that they really needed. You had to rely on Buzz just throwing himself out there and figuring out where your opponents are based on that. And just all the players from T1 wants to see them do well.
Last timeout call here from either side. The players now left to their own devices as T1 is trying to get themselves back into the driver's seat. Down by one. Still some key ultimates to utilize. Okay, they do mention pass a weapon over into Izu's hands. They get him a bulldog. Rolling Thunder there. Zero theft for the moment here for DRX. More around to play. You're looking at potentially having that orbital as well as that Armageddon online.
It's going to be very favorable alt cycling for DRX. T1 obviously needs this round, but
On the camera, Buzz riding the rope. It's instantaneous with the headshot. Takes out Bane, Izu. And then Bulldog, a good use, finds Mako. Just like that, T1 in with the advantage.
Buzz is just doing a great job up in tower.
They're just calling it safe.
Yeah, you have to.
Yep, they're just going to be sprinting away. There's okay, T1. Timeout call, working a treat. They'll make it 11-11.
And it's nothing fancy. It's just go for the B hit. Go through arcade. See if you can punish Bane up in that tower. And then you find that second kill and you're off to the races. Easy peasy for T1. God, what a match. Both these teams just so good on their adjustments.
We very well still could be going to overtime here.
Certainly feels like it.
Just wait and see. And so, yeah, well,
That's
fine.
Yeah, nobody's there. It's okay.
Flawless rounds. T1 tie things up. Don't have to commit the ultimates here. Manage to maintain those.
A little bit of stress there for Turby. We are
Been having a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
A lot on his shoulders, a lot on his plate. Still, I think with overall a very good approach to this playoffs here, considering everything that's happened, saying, look, even if we don't make it to Toronto, if we are able to become better from this playoffs, from this stage, that's still something to be proud of.
Oh, they should 100% be proud of the way they're playing. To me, they look very, very solid. Rolling Thunder only connecting onto freeing.
When it pushes him into the open
Mantap.
and into the salvo, Izu there
Wah,
to
freeing
capitalize
reset. Bunuh aja, Cok.
with that util. Player advantage now coming through. Bane could be trying to rotate over again, but launch over towards this dish side on the north here from T1.
Please, post plan yang bagus.
Stinger from Mako. Neural depth available if they can try to find a corpse. Flash out meter, fully blinded up, regains vision. Mako can take it down. Easy with the peek out from the door, able to find the trade up. Straight
DRX harus menang
dead.
round ini kan?
2v4.
Harusnya.
Bane dodging out the stun, the aftershock, forcing the reposition from him.
Wah,
But it seems like once
saving
again the
lagi
call
mereka.
save has been made. The DRX gonna have to try to play this out
Oh,
in
wah,
overtime
winning.
for the
Nice.
victory. T1 will get up to map point.
Alhamdulillah ya Allah, jangan kita di
Again,
please.
just another
Win this one, win this
kind of quick
one.
hit. Set play,
Please.
execute off the back of the Rolling Thunder. You kill a player on site.
Please.
Get that spike down ASAP. I think that might have been something that Autumn had to say is, don't overthink this. You guys are, we
Please
saw
win
that
this
one round
shit,
where they came
bro.
up through dish, went all the way through A main, back into the hall,
T1.
and didn't plant when they had the opportunity to. That cost them around. Just be decisive here. Have some confidence. That's been one of the big things that Autumn's been saying a lot in some of the post-match interviews. It's that the team needs confidence, the players need confidence. And that's something that T1, if they have, he feels that that is a key to victory for them. As simple as that.
Well, it's certainly been warming up, but take a look. That Neural
Jangan
still
itu
available. Mako
please.
now
Aduh,
orbital strike online.
Aduh.
Swings out, finds Buzz. First kill going the way of DRX as they look to take us into yet another overtime.
No drone to check that way. This
Masa OT lagi sih?
We're gonna do some check arcade.
Lah, gue dikecewain Cloud9 tadi pagi, masa sekarang dikecewain T1 anjing.
Just a reaction from DRX based on the conditioning from the last couple rounds where it had been quick hits from T1. Instead, T1 wisely changes directions. See if they can get this plant down cleanly.
It's cleared out. Smokes starting to dissipate, and there's a stun into the orbital, and Stacks is able to escape. Taking down to 30 HP. The plant interrupted here for the moment. Crossfire setup attempt here from the side of T1. Now Armageddon sent to try to counteract the positions. Meteor, however, taken down.
Spam lagi
He's
dong.
able to find one. Overdrive going to be popped. Stacks dead. Looking for a little bit more freeing, finding Sylvan, and here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Izu Gonna look to try to pull off an absolute miracle, but he can't.
Ah,
Mako swoops around from the back.
gini lagi,
The Beers will come
kecewa
in,
berat
and that's gonna be
gua.
us going to overtime once
Masa gini
more.
lagi sih?
Just unbelievable. The back and forth between these two teams is just incredible.
Aduh, pusing bola gocok.
And this time, DRX, you know, even though they get that pick, they don't quite read the bigger picture well. They're able to delay enough with the orbital strike that they can get into place to start fighting. Once the smokes drop, they're starting to cut T1 players down one by one. And that extra player is certainly helping, but DRX doing a great job. Now we go to OT. No operators to speak of. I think it's just going to be the rifles. DRX starting on the attacker's side. Try a north side hit. Even Mako all on his own down towards A main, seemingly okay. Main coming back. Figure out what they wanted to do. Wanted to get a tripwire set up on that northern side. That's where T1 was putting a lot of pressure on their defense. Flashed up. Continues to scale forward like a beat crunch. A little aware though, RT1 with the smoke down right on top of the orb. They're coming from the other direction too.
Now starting to scale forward, slides in, Meteor immediately assassinated. Stax is able to trade it back, so Himman dead on the ground. 4v4 now, push out Estrella. Not able to capitalize there for a brief little moment, but eventually he's able to find the kill. Buzz answering one back. Player advantages here for the side of DRX. Fast lane on the setup, Izu with the timing. Freeing a bit off guard is stunned, not quite connecting, and Izu's down to 7. The Salvo sent to try to make a go of it, but Flash at the ready. Both players disconnected back in towards main. Plant not in for them. Mako just looking for the slow creep up. There's the stun. Izu says, I guess I just try to hold this one to completion. But DRX did not allow for it. Match point is theirs.
Yeah, just a really nice play there. Being a little bit more diligent at the north side of the map. Setting up for something we didn't see a ton from them on their attacker side. SSB crunch. Bane finding a nice timing to pop through the smoke. Coordination, utility great here at the end. Just not a lot that Izu could do in that position. Gunman will grab an op. Found some success on it for that early pick. Sylvan maybe over here to back up Meteor a bit. One remembering what happened last time.
Here on the jiggle peak. And then going out a little bit wider, and this time the shot not going to connect. In the meantime, Buzz is going to try to push through, but Bane's going to judge the changeup here in OT, catching him off guard. Shorty does not win that fight.
That's so frustrating for T1, I'm sure. You've been bullying him up there, so what's his answer? Just grab a shotgun. Good luck.
And now they're forced to flip around the north side. Over towards this A site, you still have Sylvan lingering back, trying to make his way through the sewer. The judge of that range, if the peek comes through from Bane, obviously not going to do much, but the DRX are getting a good sense of this. 3 players in position to get the punish. The op about to be set up over at the rope, as they have to come down one by one out of drop to try to Goomba stop Mako. Fault line not connecting. He tucks back over into the smoke. Kenman on the peak, able to find one. Meteor going to be taken down the gun barrel, spotted, but Izu able to find him. But Kenman finding a second, freeing from stairs.
Gak jelas. Ah!
And it's now
Selamat
all
gua.
on Sylvan. 25 seconds, a 1v4.
Astagfirullahaladzim, ya Allah, turun
T1
banget.
has this man to clutch
Master
in the
Bank
past that he has
champion.
delivered, but right now it seems like it is going to be a bridge too far. The time dwindling. DRX playing around with their numbers, with the clock. And Sylvan
Master
will only be
champion
good
my
for
ass,
one.
anjing. Ah,
14 to
capek
12.
banget gua,
DRX
anjing.
reestablish themselves as the king of Korea.
Just a great back and forth today, but DRX just a little bit more in the tank. T1
Udah, gua nggak mau nonton
can't quite
VCT
get it
lagi,
together
anjing.
when they
Capek gua,
need to.
Cok.
They had some
Anjing.
opportunities, they had some chances at map points, and they could not convert. DRX fought tooth and nail the whole way through and just had a few more answers. And Estrella comes over to DRX and they get a big win. What a